Yo, what's up, Cozy? Hold on one sec here. How's it going, brother? I'm just getting all my stream windows figured out. Let's go live. How's the gaming going for you, Cozy? Could be better, but it's okay. What rank are you right now? Those guys were playing last night. I lost like 3 or 4 ranked games yesterday. Oof. I played a recent game of ranked. Sort of recent, I guess. Yeah, man. What happened to the Dolphins this year? Mike McDaniels went from the golden child to that guy's fired after this year's over. If anybody is on YouTube, give me a moment. I am updating. I am updating. Save. His play calling has been really bad this year. That's rough, man. He was so good. He was so good. Hey, how are you, Quiz? Can you give advice on music? It would depend, Nathan, what type of advice you're looking for, but yikes, 4 ads. I gotta add the link, shareable link, new video, post and pin. Sorry, unable to pin. Okay. Why? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? Quiz, welcome. Nathan, like how good the music is and where to improve. I mean, I did this with another guy, Way Out, Night Lights. We could listen to music. I probably won't be able to do it on stream, but we could do that. What happened? How did he go from good to bad so fast, Cozy? How did he do it? All right. Got that going. Let's get this posted. Pin message. Pin message. All right. His face looks like he doesn't want to be there either, if we're being real. Right? I want to ask you about YouTube because it's my third channel now and I'm using all my efforts and relentless hard work, but it's not working. So what should I do? Quiz Dream, I would love to help you. I am still learning this myself. So I've changed my content completely from the beginning, and now I do something totally different. So do you want me to go over what my plan is, what it used to be, Quiz, and what it is now? Then last week they destroyed Atlanta with a triple one running back threat, and this week they just put one inactive and the other power back got injured. Yikes. Yikes. Let's pop this chat out. And one of the worst calls I've seen happen that killed momentum and more horrible penalties. Man, that's rough. You know what's funny? You're a young fan, but there used to be, like, we had Dan Marino for a long time, and that was fantastic. But then we never gave him a running game. He never even had awesome receivers. It was rough, man. It was rough. He never had anybody prolific, unfortunately. I almost changed about 3 contents. So, Quiz Dream, when we have changed content multiple times, and every time we've changed content, our stuff tanks. And the defense plays against decent, good teams a lot. When momentum slows, the defense looks to stop trying. Dang, that's rough. That is rough. Hey, Cozy, if you like zombies, you should get into Marvel Rivals. We could play zombies. But hey, Quiz, when you change your content, something happens with the algorithm, and you are no longer. It doesn't push you the same. So that happened with us. Yeah, Tua isn't even bad. I think he just needs more O-line and better defensive overall skill. Yeah, I mean, that's tough. That's for every team, right? Is Tua better than Kyler Murray? Yeah, I understand. I don't like learning new games either. Tua is better than Kyler. Yo, what's up, Yuli? Yo, you guys trolled me so hard last night, Yuli. I thought we were going to play Rivals when you guys were done, and everyone just left. Let's get like 6 hours of Rivals tonight, yeah? 6 hours of zombies? Does that sound like a good way to spend your Friday? It sounds fantastic to me, but, you know. I want your guide on another topic. I mean, I'm happy to help any way I can, Quiz. If I can help you, I'll let you know. If I can't, I won't. Man, Bubba. Bubba's my biggest fan, bro. Bubba's my biggest fan. And I think Tua could be... Yeah, I think so too, but that last Val game was rough. Yeah. When you go higher up into the zombies, it gets much different. Oh, that's right. It's Halloween and you're kids. Of course you're going crazy. Yeah. He had a competent line, had a great offense. I think perhaps they should focus around Waddell as wide receiver 1. Yeah. It is kind of crazy that they don't. It's tough though. How many good offensive linemen are there in the league, right? If everybody had a good offensive line, then, or if there were enough players, everybody would have a good offensive line, of steel. Seems like he'd be fun at a party. Hurts has a good O line. Love is a good O line. Allen, Lamar. Yeah, still, it's tough, you know? It's tough. Bro, my English is not very good, and I went to study in Europe, and I'm finding some difficulties in hearing English. So what should I do in this case? You just got to keep practicing, Quiz. Do you watch a lot of English TV? I don't know if that's the best way to do it, but you hear people talk about that. People who will tell you they learned how to speak English through watching TV. There we go. All right. Yeah, Quiz. I'm not the best when it comes to how to pick up English. I apologize. The Cardinals. I don't know, man. The have you been watching the drama around what's going on with the Cardinals, Cozy? Tua needs time, and I think he doesn't trust the pocket as well, and that's the reason there have been so many picks this year. Yeah, so Kyler was injured for 2 games, and it's kind of similar. He seems to not trust the pocket and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, the we had a backup in. Who was it? He played for Indy. Jacoby Brissett, is that our backup? But either way, he's running the offense better than Kyler. People are starting to get upset because they're saying like, man, the way this offense is, it's showing that Kyler is the problem because he just wants to run all the time. Coach doesn't really work hard. they they had that clause and they removed it, but the fact that they needed to even consider putting that in is kind of crazy. Oh, you're talking about something different. Actually, you're talking about something different. Yeah, it's funny, man. Kyler will do things, and you're like, man, he's a top 10 quarterback in the league, and then he does other things, and you're like, man, this guy's barely a starter. Yeah, agreed. But it seems like Murray always wants to go to the check down tight end, check down back as well. Quite possibly. But he's short. That's I think that's what a lot of people's issue is with him, is that he's short. He can't peek up over the line. Yo, Peter Jean, welcome. Welcome to the Instagram. There was a point, Cozy. I was streaming on Twitch, 2 YouTubes, Kick, Instagram, TikTok, and X, all at the same time. How are the bills looking? Hey, Peter, if you don't know about me, I'm a free financial advisor. I've been a certified financial planner professional since 2014. I worked at Vanguard for over 13 years, and I quit my job to help millions of people achieve financial literacy. Hey, what's up, Dazonia? I might know you. Yeah, I do. There's a vertical stream, Cozy, and a horizontal stream for YouTube. They seem to only push the vertical streams, though. How beneficial would be getting my Series 65 to give financial advice once I get my CPA instead of getting my CFP? I mean, the 65 allows you to give advice. Yeah, that's what I thought, Dazonia. You handsome devil. But your CFP, all your CFP really does is actually get you a waiver for the 65 or the 66 so you can give advice. But otherwise, the Series 65 is what you actually need to sell investment products. So I would say vary. Now, the CFP is a much higher credential than the Series 65. CF Wars, why ask you, why not Chat GPT? Because you want that human connection, baby. You want me to hear you say it's going to be okay, and this is how we're going to do it. You don't want a robot reciting what someone else trained it to recite. How you been, B? I'm going to leave it just like that. How you been? One of the fun things that I've been doing, Bills bounced back last week, but the 2 weeks before they lost to the Patriots and the Falcons, Allen was seeing ghosts. Uh-oh. You don't want to start seeing your star quarterback seeing ghosts. That's generally hard to overcome once it starts happening. Once you get the yips. But it's been kind of fun because we went to TwitchCon, Cozy. I don't even know if you do this, but we went to TwitchCon, and I walked around TwitchCon interviewing people. And we're publishing those videos. And then if they were streamers, I'm going into their streams and letting them know the video's available. So it's kind of cool getting to meet people that way. And it's also neat to have follow-up, because most of the time I have these conversations out in the world and then I never hear from them again. Hey, CF Wars, I also think I would give a better answer. Right? I'll just leave it at that. I'll give a better answer than Chat GPT. Better is subjective. It has been fun, Cozy. It has been fun. TikToker started following me. All right. New kid is beautiful. I don't know how to. Hey, see ya, B. Uh, I don't know how to word this because it's potentially our last baby. There is different attention being played, and he has reached the smiling, not quite laughing, but yeah. Miami was up 17-0 to the Panthers and blew it after the first half. Then they and the Panthers beat the Falcons 30-0 and 34-10, but the Bills lost to the Falcons. That's crazy. Yeah, football's weird, man. It's a battle of matchups. But oh man, I don't know if you've gone through that phase, Yuli, or remember that phase, or watching somebody's kid grow. But they literally for the first like 2.5 months, they just have straight face or cry all the time. That's it. They're just like, ah. That's it. That's all they do. And then all of a sudden, like you could tell they're trying to mimic you, and then all of a sudden they smile at you, and it's over. It's over from there. When does a soft spot on their head fully cover? It's different for different babies, but generally before 2 years. It might be sooner than that. My wife could give you a very specific answer. But as a dad, it's fascinating. Kind of like run your fingers. You don't ever press, but it's just like, whoa, that's kind of weird. There's no skull there. It is. Now, I mean, it gets smaller and smaller. So there's a point, right? It's like, yeah, the fontanelle, Danny, the fontanelle. Yo, you are either a parent or most people, okay, most people don't know what the fontanelle is. Welcome, Danny. Welcome. In case you didn't know, I'm a certified financial planner professional, which means I'm a fiduciary. I'm a free financial advisor. We call a steak and kidney pudding in town from a baby shed in England because it dips on the top. That's actually pretty funny. Yeah, there's certain things that aren't really funny until you're a parent. Now I'd giggle. Look, it does look like a baby's head. But yeah, Danny, I'm a free financial advisor. I worked at Vanguard for over 13 years. I quit my job to help millions of people achieve financial literacy. I have a free Patreon that comes with a budgeting spreadsheet. So if you'd like to join it, you can get help there or get the budget spreadsheet there. And then we do community Q&As on Saturdays. Private for just Patreon members. Give me one sec. How much more or less would you say you enjoy full-time streaming over working as a financial advisor? Whoa, that's actually a pretty deep question, Cozy. I really like it. Um, so, this is tough because the conversation as a financial advisor, even when you're in the corporate setting, is very specific. You're going down a path, and you're working with people much further along in their financial journey. But working as free advice guy has been the greatest time of my entire life. working. Period. It's not even close. The amount of people I've got to help that probably need it more than who I was working with before is crazy. One kick community. All right. Is having kids wreck the finances, or does the tax reduction? Well, I mean, you do get a credit, Peter. And when you say wreck, it depends. Babies are fairly cheap when they're born, right? We did cloth diapering. But either way, you pay for diapers, some clothes, and if they're breastfeeding, that's it. There's no costs. But you do have to prepare for the future, right? Like kids start playing sports, and then all of a sudden, however many kids you have, maybe that's 150, $200 a month on sports. That's rough. So you definitely have to plan for it, but all it really has meant for me, Peter, is a reallocation of funds. I don't buy Valorant skins anymore, so I could feed my children. I love that question, Cozy, by the way. All right, right back. Yo, what's up, Rump? AI stream. It's me, baby. It's me. It's crazy how different your life is now, huh? That's all I'm gonna say. But life is crazy. Scheduled alive. Yeah, things are working out. Rump. We took me and my friend slash videographer took a trip to San Diego and filmed our in real life content at TwitchCon. So those are the videos we're releasing now. That's pretty cool. Um, Baby is beautiful and smiling and laughing and all that stuff. Not quite laughing yet. Not quite laughing yet. I take that back. But he's making a little like noise, which is the cutest thing ever. Almost, Rump, almost. What else you got, Peter? What else? Does anybody have a topic they just want me to word vomit with? Sounds good. There we go, Rump. What's your life been like, brother? I need to stop buying stocks. Oh man. Uh-oh. What have you been getting into, Rump? I need to hear all about it, brother. Oh, I see you you messaged on one of my things here. Let's see. Let me see your comment here, Peter. Wait, Instagram photo? What is happening here? Yes. All right. So all the other financial stuff you did seems to have worked itself out, huh? Well, not all of it. Maybe we talk about it another time. Yeah, sounds good, Rump. We'll have to get one of our weirdly timed conversations. I appreciate you, brother. I'll see you at 2 a.m., okay? Later, Rump. Later, Rump. All you need is love. Do 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 do. Hey, what's up, Super Nez? Hey, Nez, did this come up as a picture or as a live stream? Do I like investing in precious metals? I have a little bit of precious metals, and I use it as sort of an inflation hedge. But really, I do it because of FOMO. So it all depends on your reason, Yuli. Are you considering getting into metals? So okay, I sort of I'll give you the symbol. I am telling no one to buy this, but there's a company called Sprott, Sprott. I own a position CEF, and it's buying. So it's a Canadian company, but you buy physical metals when you buy the ETF, if that makes sense. And once you own enough, you can actually uh, claim it if you want. But I bought a bit of physically backed gold stock. Okay, wait. So like a gold certificate, essentially, the way it used to be. You know, our dollars used to be backed up by by gold and stuff. So it's kind of like that. It's like what you were describing. My money's in their stocks. I go to the gold in their bank. When I get that gold shipped to my house. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It sounds very similar. That's kind of neat. But you do it directly through Wealth Simple, or does it have a ticker symbol like CEF or something like that? It's a Wealth Simple stock. They just released it like a week or two ago. I dig that a lot. I think that is a really cool way for people to own metals because I don't want to own gold. Like, even if I wanted to have 100 ounces of gold, I don't actually want to carry a sack of gold around in my life. I mean, it's kind of neat, right? You bust out your gold coins, but I don't know. It just feels whatever. So this way, I own the metals. You own the metals without actually having to hold them. Yeah, we take those. Also, like seeing the number on the screen go up. Yes. Wait, when did you buy it? Because gold has been having a rough go at it lately for the last like week or so. Yo, what's up? Is that LJ Meander? Welcome to the Instagram. This is something new I'm trying here on Instagram. I got some at the first drop, and then again at the second one. I'm down like $40. Yeah, I have been invested since gold was like 17.95 an ounce or something like that. Hey, big homie. Welcome, sir. Welcome. The It's not equivalent, but I bought all this when gold was trading at 17.45. The other cool thing about the ETFs in these positions is you're not having to pay premiums on them most of the time. I got a buddy who was in much earlier than that. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. Yeah, but even I think this was like 20. Let's actually just look at it. Let's just look at it. Yeah, but gold. If you have, how much down the rabbit hole have you been with gold yet, Yuli? Yo, what's up, Llama? Because gold is trading for about 4,000 an ounce, silver at about 48 an ounce. The gold and silver trading markets are heavily manipulated. Okay, if you want to lose an entire night to something, go ahead and research the manipulation of the gold and silver markets, or don't do it. That might actually be better. It's not that gold's not safe. It's just a manipulated market. If you look at what gold was trading at per ounce when we got off the dollar, and then how much the dollar has lost its value since then, gold has not proportionately changed in value. Same with the silver markets. They should be worth significantly more than they are, considering how much more money we have available throughout the economy. Yo, what's up, Keenan? Welcome. How is it going? What thoughts are on your mind today? Oh, I apologize, Keenan. Life is good. Got to hang out with the family today. Last night I was a little bit goofy and stayed up too late playing video games. It's been a while since I've done that, but or a video game, I guess I should say. Do you recommend any of those stocks? Because my portfolio is purely ETF stocks right now. If you know why you want to own precious metals, that is that is when you should start thinking about it. But until then, um, I don't necessarily broadly recommend that everybody have anything. Yo, congrats, Keenan. That's a big move. Are you excited? Are you nervous? How did you decide how much house to buy? Hey, when you say you've. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Keenan. I just feel like gold is so expensive at the moment, went up so much last few years. Yeah. Uh, and it's possible it'll go back down, but one thing that isn't really being talked about is when people think inflation's coming down or that prices are coming down or that they're related, when all it really means is prices aren't going up as fast. So it's interesting to say, like, what would cause gold to tank back down to say like 1,500 a share. And there are definitely reasons it could happen, and it just might. Oh yeah, dig for gold. Somebody was in my chat recently saying that they're very close to figuring out how to make gold in a lab, and if that happens, it'll tank the value. But it's like Bitcoin isn't even real. I'll dig it, Keenan. So, how much house were you approved for, if you don't mind me asking? And then how much house did you buy? I don't believe in that. Mine diamonds to man made. diamond price is completely different. So even if they replicate the metal, I don't think it can be identical. Ooh. I like that thought process, Yuli. They could take their fake gold and put it in computers. They're gonna just strike oil, dude. Could you even imagine? All right, this is a super old story. My friend was from, I think, Alabama, and his one of his buddies or family friends or something like that, dude, they would never let you have access to it, Yuli. But he bought a plot of land so that he could go hunting. And while walking through the land, it hadn't been surveyed. He finds this. I forgot how strong it was, but this like white stuff on his property, and it turns out it's the stuff that the Tylenol tablets are made from. So he ended up making a bunch of money from randomly buying a piece of land. It's kind of neat, right? Imagine if you just found oil. But how do you find oil is the question. Are any of you into the slap fighting or whatever it's called? Me neither. The I forgot what it's called, but it's connected to like the UFC. They literally slap each other and try to knock each other out. It's like somewhat interesting. Yeah. Well, I saw one, a dude got knocked out and he slammed the table that he stands in front of. Like, all right. It's kind of wild. Hey, big homie, I wanted to ask this, and I don't know how else to ask this, but to be blunt, but did we talk on Sunday or Saturday? Dude got knocked out. Should have known he was cooked when old boy walked up with the handlebar mustache. Yeah. Um, Sunday. I think, if I remember correctly, you were one of the very last conversations we had. Yeah. And what's funny is we ended up staying later than we anticipated. Hey, thanks, Julie. Have fun tonight. I will stream until about 1 o'clock on here, and then I'll hop to TikTok after that. For sure. Later, Julie. Yes, big homie. We originally intended to leave, um, and we ended up getting into a couple of good conversations. And then once we got in those conversations, it lasted longer. We met a couple people. So yeah, we stayed at least an hour, but I feel like it was closer to 2 hours longer than we anticipated. Me too. I might have already told you this, but we had, I think, 7 videos for Friday. We'll have 8 to 12 for Saturday, and then like 3 to 5 for Sunday. And what's crazy is we weren't even at TwitchCon for the full day. If we could do it again, we probably would have shown up later and stayed later every day. But we were getting there at like 9 or 10 and leaving at like 2 or 3 every day. John Patrick, should I give the church 10%? Been lurking while I was on the phone with my dad. Yo, what's up, Dan? John, that's a personal thing, right? Read your Bible and see what you think it's telling you to do there. I will say the old law is dead. Any giving you give should give from the heart. Gamers don't get up that early. Yeah, but dads do, man. I don't get to sleep in. But yeah, so I'm up, and then I'm getting tired as the gamers are showing up. But yeah, we should have showed up later. I think the more famous people showed up later as well. But I don't know that I gave you enough of an answer there, John. John Patrick, let me know. I'm a second shift cop, 3 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. Getting up early is definitely a no-go for me. I feel that. Yes, in Hebrews, it talks about giving your tithes to men, but Jesus receives it. I think it will be hard to prosper without doing the word. I hear you, John. Faith without action is meaningless. And that might be a little bit too bold or whatever. But if you're a New Testament person, the old law is dead. There's a lot of things that people carry over from the Old Testament, even though it's dead. Man. So what time do you actually get to sleep, Dan? Like if you're getting off at 1:30, you got to drive home, you got to let the adrenaline dump, unwind, and then go to bed. What time are you actually getting to sleep? 3? Should I pull out my 401k and put it at bonds for a year? Should the market overcorrect? No, generally you don't want to pull money out of your 401k. You are also talking about timing the market, John, and that is almost impossible to do. So if you pull money out of the 401k, I don't know how old you are, but assuming it's pre-tax and you're under 59 and a half, the amount you pull out will be added to your ordinary income tax with a 10% early withdrawal penalty. Why not, if you want to invest in bonds, why not keep it in your 401k? Because it's the right type of vehicle if you're going to own bonds. I can switch it in my account without withdrawing. Perfect. So when it comes to your investments overall, John, you need to line up your allocation and make it based on your time horizon and risk tolerance, right? So someone like me who's super aggressive, I'm 100% stock. If the stock market tanks, I'm going to try and find money and buy it while it's low. Anything other than a 100% stock portfolio, you can do something called rebalancing. Find your allocation between stocks and bonds that you feel comfortable with, that exposes you to enough growth, but also helps you mitigate some of that downside risk with the bonds. That way, let's just say we run into an '08 scenario again, '08, '09 scenario again with stocks. If you're at a 70% stock portfolio, 30% bond, and that 70% of your portfolio loses 50% of its value, so you're at 35% stock, 65% bonds, you then move that bond money into stocks when it's low, get you back to your 70-30. That way, if and when the market recovers, you've not only recouped everything you lost, you're ahead because you bought shares of stock while it was low. Does that make sense, John? What other questions you got? I'm going to go get a refill on my water, and then I will be right back. I just moved my whole 401k into fixed interest bonds since the market is at the top. If it corrects soon, then we'll switch back. All right, so here's the problem, John. If you look at the history of the stock market, it's literally nothing but all-time highs being broken for the last like 90 plus years, right? You're going to have downturns, but seems 40% of all the monies in the stock market is mostly centered into the Magnificent Seven, which are bloated and way overvalued to me. I totally get where you're coming from. I totally understand it. But we have no idea what the market's going to do in the long run. You know what I mean? So we would be timing the time in the market. All right, I'm gonna get a refill of this water. Be right back. I just feel that one bad event or announcement can send the whole thing topping quickly. I mean, it happened 6 months ago, right? It happened in April. We saw a major downturn, not major, but we saw the market rescind deeply in April. So what happens a lot of the time is people have the idea that you have right now, right? So this is our starting point. The market goes up and then it crashes. It's throughout history. This is my saying, and it's not true every year, but this year's market high is next year's buying opportunity. 30 years from now, John, if you're investing properly, 30 years from now, you will not have cared that the market went up and down. Jumping in and out of the market is a way to miss out because I forgot, but it's like this was like 5 years ago, but it was like 50% of all the returns happen in like 30 trading days over a 5 year period. I like to trade in the stock market, particularly futures, and whenever there's a beat down on some stock. So I don't really buy individual stocks. I own one, and it was sort of a joke through a community. Yo, thank you. I appreciate you, big homie. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Volatility has been accelerating recently, and I see the huge drops in companies that are overvalued. It's possible. Like, so I don't buy individual stocks, but back in April, if I were to buy stocks, I was telling people I would consider Tesla. And since it's dropped down to 241, we're getting close to a 100% return in about 7 months. That's insane. I don't have money, but want to start a startup. What to do? Well, I'm going to assume a lot, but with this little information that I have, I would find a business that has very little overhead up front so that you can just start your business, right? With minimal stuff. What type of startup are you wanting to get into? Selective or select civils? Can you be my advisor? Actually, I want to enter into food processing. So yes, I can be your financial advisor. Uh, the more open questions, or how do I word this? Join the Patreon if you want to get more specific on advice and investments and things like that. But I wouldn't be able to help too much into food processing. I have zero knowledge or expertise in food processing. I'm in America, select. If you were to start a business, what would be better? An LLC initially? I mean, you could do a sole proprietorship. An LLC gives you some form of protection. So I went with the LLC route. Um, Man, thanks again, big homie. I appreciate you, man. So I did an LLC for some protection, but I don't know that it's absolutely necessary right off the bat. I don't know how to manage my finances actually. Learned money, but I don't know where it all goes. Yeah, we could definitely do that. Select, I'll give you the first answer. I should probably change my name to Free Budget Guy. But you have to have a detailed budget. My Patreon, my free Patreon, does have a budget spreadsheet free as part of it. I was thinking about starting an embroidery and t-shirt design company, but don't really know how to do it, and the initial startup cost about $62,000. That is a lot. If you can, you should have a normal job and go to build your business that way. I do have a normal job, make really good money, have no debt, have a few hundred thousand to play with. Oh, okay. So that's a much different question and a much different position, John. Have you ever considered something if you have extra cash to throw around, start something small like vending machines for sodas and snacks? Select. My name is Luke or Free Advice Guy. If you go to freeadviceguy.com, you can find all my stuff there or whatever. But I'm a certified financial planner professional. Or if I did start doing the business, would they just overtax me and it wouldn't be worth my time? Paying taxes means you made money, sir. That is a good idea. I have asked a couple businesses, but they already have vending machines in there. Interesting. I'm sure you could find some, but it might be some work, you know? Hey, have a good one, John. Great to meet you. Like, I really want someone who can guide me about my finances. Yes, sir. That's me. So, to make sure that I am what you're looking for, I do everything in a group setting. It is possible to do one on one private conversations, not on stream. But the only way to do that would be the highest tier of Patreon. Otherwise, what I'm really trying to do is build a community where we all learn from each other. Um, Join the Patreon, Select. Join the Patreon. But yeah, so I do everything in a group setting. So if we have a conversation, it can be private inside of the Patreon only community. But otherwise, we can have conversation on Discord anytime I'm streaming or on Discord anytime we're streaming there. So, what are your biggest, how do I word this? What are the biggest areas you're looking for help? Oof. Have a good one, big homie. Good luck, sir. Luca from India. I run a marketing company. Select Canvas. How can I increase revenue there? It's tough, brother. I don't have expertise here. I'm not a revenue generator. I don't know much about marketing. I just keep posting. I don't know if that's what I should be doing, but that's all I'm doing. All right, give me 1 second. All right, 1 sec here. All right, 1 sec here. Is indexing better or mutual funds? Well, generally, you get an index from a mutual fund or an ETF. So you're sort of using interchangeable funds. The index, to get the index, like to buy the S&P 500, you have to buy a mutual fund. To buy the total stock market, you have to buy the total stock market index fund. Stuff like that. What are the questions you got, Pratham? Do 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 do. Yo, what's up, Soft? Welcome, brother. Whoo, 5 stream. Man, what did you get it up to that one time? I felt like it was either. Was it above 100? That was also back when I was like streaming consistently. But now we're back. Whoo. Yeah, and then you got hosed, right? You actually came into my stream. I had like a weird streaming thing. And then you were actually in there, but it didn't give you credit or something like that. Have you heard of the channel Big Time Soft? Yeah, they're on YouTube. They were a part of a channel called Donut, and then they left and started doing their own thing. It's like the perfect type of car content for me. I don't know enough. Also, when are you trying zombies? All right, be right back. Do 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 do. Tonight, although you're probably going out for Halloween, right? I totally forgot it was Halloween, and I asked Yulia if she was gaming tonight. I was like, "Oh, we should play like 6 hours of zombies." She's like, Frost and I are going out for Halloween." I'm like, "Oh yeah, kids are cool. We don't even really celebrate Halloween as a family." So, whoa, give me 1 second here. All right. You going to a Halloween party? I'm trying to think of the last time I went to a Halloween party. I'm going to call it my late-ish 20s. Hey, Soft, you know that big homie guy that's been in the Twitch chat? I'm pretty sure it was him. They were back to back, but we're at TwitchCon and we're literally getting ready to leave. We're in like the second floor artist area, and we're like, all right, that was a good day. It was Sunday. It was slow. We're like, we got, I don't know, 3, 4 interviews at that point. We're like, we'll make Sunday a light day because we wanted to drive home. And he sees me and he goes, hey, free advice guy, I follow you on TikTok. I was like, you follow me? He was the first person who ever said it. And then we had a good conversation. He's going to be in the YouTube video. And then, yeah, he asked a question. So that was like the coolest moment I've had so far as free advice guy. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And I wanted to ask you something. So one of the people that we spoke to at TwitchCon, he has over 500,000 followers, but he's, oh wait, never mind. I misread this. I misread it. But if you see somebody who has the same amount of followers that they are following, is that sort of indicative of the follow for follow people? I wouldn't trust that person. All right. Done. It's also kind of crazy that you can get to that kind of level in a follow for follow. But I guess if you honestly don't care, right? I don't want a bunch of random followers. I've already learned the lesson. I don't just want a bunch of random people to like follow unless they're actually into the content. Otherwise they kill the algorithm. Let's see what's going on in the markets. We're about to close up. All right, markets are up. Gold is pretty much flat. All right, let's see if any of these big gainers today. Cabaletta Bio is up 45%. All right. Bright House Financial Inc. Bank of America is at a 52-week high. Progressive at a low. Cigna at a low. Insurance companies seem to be getting crushed right now. T-Mobile's at a low. Man, Apple's at a 52-week high? Yes. The part of the reason I think you should do it is because you are casually awesome. You may be trying very hard and you may care a lot, but the way you play and like your personality is it's just like natural. But yes, I think you absolutely should. You know, if that's what you want, right? There's something to be said about going into the public. I would have never I probably would have never streamed if I wasn't planning to be free advice guy. But we knew free advice guy was coming, so it was like, all right, let's get used to streaming now. But that's mostly because I'm not good enough to make it as a straight gamer, you know? Could hold new level of funny, which is why he thinks I should stream. Yes. I mean, that's part of it as well. Yeah. If you're actually thinking you can be entertaining and all that stuff, and you're good at the games that you play, that is a winning formula, I think. It's still about people finding you and all that sort of stuff. But I can imagine your clips, right? You're bawling out, and then you and Jay have a giggle fest over something that happened, you know? And people love that. That's endearing. That's weird. There's an article here that says Tesla stock is down. Don't blame Cybertruck recalls, but Tesla is at like 440 or something like that. 454. I gotta look at Apple here real quick. Let's get to a 52-week high. Wow. It's lethal. No, I will be streaming on TikTok after this one because of the premiere. Uh, we make Friday an early stream. There is not much going on to chat about. Got another 10 minutes or so. So how serious are you considering this, Soft, about streaming? Probably considering it, but it wouldn't be something I take super seriously. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Take it super seriously if you have a reason to take it super seriously. Is Jay gonna get back into streaming? I think he'd like to, but he already complains about his FPS. Yeah, okay, that's true. That's very true. couple minutes away. I'm back. Yeah, I'll be leaving here in a couple minutes. I will go and chat with the fam for a little bit, and then we're back. We'll be back with TikTok. Nah, we're the weird parents, Yuli. I've never really been into Halloween, but yeah, we just our kids aren't really into the imagery of it either. Like there are definitely things when we're walking around or driving around that they see. All right, this is a really good question, Yuli. When you became an adult, were you all about it because you didn't do it as a kid, really? Yeah, dressing up can be fun. See, like we do dress up stuff not Halloween time. Like Halloween isn't the only time we dress up as a family, if that makes sense. One of the most common ones, the kids like dressing up in firefighter gear. That's cute. Frost is the Hulk and Yuli is Jeff for Halloween. I like that. Oh man. Yeah, little babies dressed up as big fruit. That's super cute. Super cute. Wait, you guys haven't gotten your outfits yet? Yeah, I feel that. But now you're going to end up going as something that you don't really want to go as. Okay. You got to put a picture in one of two places, Boomer Zoomers or X. All right, I like that. You guys are both kind of like tall and skinny. That fits. Rubbing it all in. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream now. I keep saying I'm going to possibly do Slender Man for every Halloween. Oh, man. I keep saying I'm going to stream, but I don't know if I want to stream on Halloween. I guess I could just do zombies all night on for Halloween. Yes, we 100% need a picture. 100%. Ooh, Bow Bow, you met me right before I am about to call it for the day, but I'm going to answer this question because it's important. So before we can talk about what ETFs to invest in, we have to have goals, time horizons, and risk tolerances. So I'll give you my criteria. I'm super aggressive. If the stock market lost 90% tomorrow, I wouldn't blink and I would look for more money to invest in it. So for long term, especially retirement type, I essentially like two funds if you're super aggressive and into stocks. And it's the total stock market index and the total international stock market index. Bow Bow. Let me know what questions you had. Zombies is fire. I'm obsessed, Yuli. So you know how in the levels that we were doing, that same path over and over again. Once you are into, what do we do? It's normal, hard, extreme, and then does it go to nightmare right there? Either way, I think when you get to nightmare, oh dude, zombies is so fun. So imagine a Rivals map, and you have to walk through it to get to somewhere else, and zombies continuously attack you. Hordes of zombies. Hey. Thank you for the sub, the YouTube sub there, IRD1NOTD2. That's a very interesting name. But yeah, and then you have to wipe out all the zombies. That's essentially what it is the whole time. It's fun, man. It's mindless. You know how in competitive, although there is a sort of competitive nature to this, Soft, because it's you and teammates, or I guess it could just be you, versus the computer, but you have to beat it. So, and it gets more and more difficult. I think we beat Nightmare 2 last night. I think that's where we got, was to Nightmare 2. And as long as, if it's a team of 4, as long as one of you stays alive, it keeps going. But if you die at the same time, it's over. It might be limited. Hopefully they decide, because the game mode is awesome. If you don't really feel like getting on and playing with a bunch of human beings, you can just wipe out an unlimited amount of computer-generated enemies. And you can make it super easy. Once your character gets to a certain level, you would just walk through normal like nothing. I'd rather play with zombies than rival players. Honestly, what was that? Me, Yuli, Frost, and Wiz. You just like, I don't know. I think we were doing it wrong because we just kept spamming the ones we could beat. And last night, the guys just kept wanting to move higher and higher. And it does get very challenging. Very challenging. And I'm pretty sure Blade and Magic are the best DPS characters for that mode. All right. I got to call the stream now. Hopefully Bao Bao got his answer or his question answered, and I did right. But I probably won't talk to you, Yuli or Soft, for the rest of the day. Enjoy your Halloween, and maybe we convince Soft to play zombies tomorrow night. Wait for me. Soft, I asked for one thing and one thing only, dude. We don't play video games anymore. Wait for me. If you're going to play zombies, wait for me. That's all I ask. One game, and then you can play with all the other people. Just wait for me. All right, I'm out of here. Bye, everybody. I love you. Peace out.